Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats. Today we're going to do something a little bit unusual maybe. We're going to have a drive because it's a beautiful day. We finally have winter and I have new winter tires which are, well, it's a tale of being stupid. It doesn't work out that bad after all. At the same time, of course, it's a good excuse for me to test drive this car and see how it handles and what the range is in the winter. We're at 98%. It's currently minus 5 degrees outside. This is a Model 3 rear-wheel drive. Not a long-range rear-wheel drive, sadly, just a rear-wheel drive. The tires are Mazzini Snow Leopard 2. 295/45 18s, which I've never heard of. And when I bought this car, I picked it up last summer, I didn't bother to pay for the Euro overpriced Tesla winter tires because I didn't want 2 sets of the same rims, and I don't want bigger rims on the car because consumption and comfort. And besides, the Model 3 have now been on the market for a long time, so even though this is the facelift, the old rims and tires still fit, so you just get a cheap set of third party or used or whatever for half the price. It's not really rocket science. And so I did. I found, and well, I always said I hate black rims. They look stupid. And I still think many of them look stupid. But this set of rims with the spokes and stuff I think they looked really cool. Now the car is dirty and the rims are dirty and everything is just crap. But they actually look rather okay. And the original set of 18s on this car they're not black, they're more like gunmetal grayish. So I have 2 sets of rims. Both are dark, which is, well, yeah. I mean, look, I live in Norway. We have winters. We have, even down here, we have occasional, ice and stuff, and we have animals and elk and moose and all that stuff. You need to be able to stop the thing properly and steer the thing properly. I've always maintained that you don't necessarily need the most expensive Michelin tires in the world, and you don't, but you need some proper tires. Don't buy the cheapest tires in the world. But anyway, I ended up buying this tire package because it didn't cost that much, and then I got home with it, which was in September or something. I thought, well, might as well just get some winter tires now before everybody's going to buy them, so get them in the early autumn before the rush comes on, and then you can do some good deals. And I did. And then I tried to find some tests of the Mazzini Snow Leopard 2, and I was thinking, okay, they're Italian tires. The rims are also Italian. Advanti Enzo 18-inch. Pirelli are Italian, they make good tires. So okay, well, we have some Alps in Italy, they have some snow there as well, maybe it's not as bad. And then I started thinking, because of some new EU regulations, anyone can relatively easily slap a snow cone ice mountain symbol on a tire and call it a winter tire or a snow tire, to be more specific. And you don't really have to do any more than that. I'm oversimplifying, of course, but the bottom line is that I've driven on winter tires that are meant for the northern part of Germany once before. Germany have winters. Yes, they do. Not like in Scandinavia. It's not the same thing. Canada have winters. They have proper winters. Scotland have winters. No. Just a few parts of it, maybe. So, like, when Europeans talk of winter tires, they normally mean tires that are rated to handle a lot of water because of the rain and moisture. When Scandinavians talk of winter tires, we talk of tires that can handle also snow, also water, yes, but snow and ice. They actually have grip levels on those surfaces. Yeah, like I said, snow and ice and stuff. And we're now in Sweden, and the tires feel relatively safe and they give you a certain amount of feedback. Actually, on a dry road with these winter tires, I have more confidence in the turn-in than I do on the summer tires, which is mostly because the summer tires are some eco soft awful things that made to give you more range and last longer than they are to be sporty. So these snow leopards definitely aren't too bad. Let's try and stop. Oh, it was moved around a little bit, not that much. Oh my gosh, that took a long time. It took a long distance as well. Well, that wasn't from, what was it, 70, 75, something like that, I don't know. It's really, yeah, for all of those who sit out there, particularly Americans who think, oh, I have four-wheel drive. No, four-wheel drive does not make a car stop faster. There's all these little things that affect the tire and what it can and cannot do. And the winter tires, all tires are compromises between speed and grip and the ability to move water and all these things, and also long life. If you have a soft compound, you have a shorter life. And no, electric cars don't use tires more than anything else. If you drive like a bastard and you floor it everywhere, you will devour your tire, particularly a soft winter tire, because winter tires have softer compounds than summer tires. Tesla, in many EVs, you can adjust speed with one pedal, and many say that region scares them. Oh my god, the car moves around under me. It goes into, particularly the rear wheel drive ones. Oh no, we go into a tailspin. We're doing 87 kilometers. Let's lift off. No, nothing happens. It reduces the speed. The car senses its grip levels, and then automatically adjusts region to that grip level, or just cut the region entirely. And that's how it should behave. Some of the 10-year-old electric car, some of them might not be that good. Most of them should do this, because I've been running these tests on other cars also. Then most of them behave the same way. The idiot, stupid man buying a set of cool rims without checking what winter tires he had on turned out to be perfectly okay, because these tires feel safe and good, and they do what I want them to do when I want them to do it. That's the important bit. Yes, a pair of Michelins or Goodyears or Nokia and Haka tires would have definitely been even better. There's no doubt about that. But if it would cost 40% more, and yeah, is it worth it? In a crisis situation, those 40% more money is definitely worth it. They're always worth it. Trust me, I thought these tires would have been an absolute disaster. They're not a disaster, far from it. They're actually rather good. And as for the car, behaves safe. It feels safe. The region and the whole drivetrain is just wonderful, and the traction control system, it lights up every now and then. It doesn't intervene in like a hammer. It works with the road and with the car, and it tries to get you where you point. If you give it a steering input, if you do this, now you can see. You have to give the car a steering input, like so, on and off. It will do whatever it can to take you in that direction. Of course, it can't do magic. If you come into this corner, for instance, far too fast, you will end up in that tree. I don't want to end up in that tree, so I take the speed down. And you can floor it, not floor it, but slowly increase power. And because this car, Tesla in general, and many other electric cars now, have very, very wonderful... You have infinite adjustability with an electric motor. People that come from an internal combustion engine don't understand this. You have infinite adjustability to such a fine level of degree that you can both on and off power, that you don't really need to. You don't use the brake pedal very much, and you can just nicely adjust your input power, so you don't have to trouble the traction control at all. In fact, it's, of course, I would love to be able to disable traction control, because I would imagine this car would make a brilliant drift car. The Model S was that, the old Model S I had last winter, because it would just on the non-Kong winter tires that I was also very curious about, but they were also behaving very, very well. It was just so incredibly well behaved. It wasn't. Some cars have snap overs there. A few BMWs have driven who had that. I don't like snap overs there because it kind of feels like the car doesn't want to play. You have to force it to play, and the best cars are those that are progressive and they tell you, they give you a message beforehand that now your limits are close, and then you can just push into it, and you can feel it progressively go into a slide, and you can go and you can counteract the slide with the steering wheel, and you can play with the throttle, and the car just allows you to do that, and it feels controllable, and all that. That's fun. That's a good tire, it's a good setup, it's a good car. And I also think this would have been the same thing. I think it would have been just so much fun to play around with. This isn't a test of limits or anything, but if these tires were as bad as I was afraid they would be, I wouldn't have dared to do this. I do this now, have a 70, 80, 85, 87 kilometers an hour because I have the confidence to do it, because I feel safe to doing it. Otherwise I would have never done so. I wouldn't have dared to. I'm just shooting in on my way back home now. That it went from being sunny and really nice to overcast, and it's snowy and windy. Now it's just ice and snow, and even on these conditions grip levels are perfectly adequate, and it feels stable and fine. So does the Mazzini or Mazzani or whatever it was, Snow Leopard 2 tires, did it work? Yes! And unlike the only online content I found on it, which was a test giving it a 2, which didn't exactly make me feel optimistic, unlike that, they actually feel good and safe, and yes, I like them. Exist better tires out there? Oh yes, definitely. Does that mean that they're worth giving it a try? Yes, of course it depends on where you live. If you live in Denmark, your needs are different than if you live in Finnmark. Tires are safety. Safety is important. Not only for yourself, but for everybody around you as well. And driver like the road conditions dictate. Don't try to be a hero. This was a little bit of a video going everywhere. We now, actually, speaking of consumption numbers, we have a consumption of 180 watt hours since we left home, and it's still, well, it's minus 3 degrees. You can see the road conditions yourself. I think that's pretty good. The car claims we can do 300 plus kilometers. That's not bad. And that's about what you get when you have around 200 watt hours of consumption and you have a 60 kilowatt hour battery pack, and you had 98% when you left home. That sort of makes sense. You get around 300 kilometers of range, probably a little bit more. We're not going to go 300 kilometers today. I just wanted to have a drive in the beautiful weather, and I thought, well, maybe we can just show off Winter Wonderland, and we can talk about tires as well, and a bit of handling. And this just feels so nice and safe. So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.